Hello everyone and welcome back to Mariana Mas Books. My name is Mariana and today I am here with another Poetry Thursday video. As I said in my Essay Wednesday video yesterday, it has been a while since I done a Poetry Thursday video and I wanted to do one before the year ended. So I am here with another one and today I am going to share another poem by Fran Wilde. Why did I pick a poem by Fran Wilde? If you go back to the beginning of my channel, the first ever Poetry Thursday that I filmed was a poem by Fran Wilde. So I thought it would be a nice circle if I started with a poem by her and I ended with a poem by her. This is of course not the last Poetry Thursday video I'm going to film, but it is the last Poetry Thursday video I'm going to film this year. I am going to share with you the poem You Are 2.3 Meters from Your Destination. Before I read it, I just wanted to quickly comment something about poetry and about the poetry I like. So usually when I hear people talk about poetry, I hear them talk about emotions. People usually associate poetry with emotions, with expressing emotions, with an emotional response. And for me, at least in my personal experience, and I am by no means an expert and I don't read as many or as much poetry as I would like, so that can probably be it. But for me, it has always been more of an intellectual interest. Let me explain. So usually the poems that most appeal to me are not the ones that get an emotional reaction out of me, but the ones that get an intellectual reaction in the sense of or like, oh, that was very interesting, or that make me think about something. I think that's why I enjoy modern poetry, contemporary poetry, experimental poetry, because it is highly conceptual. And I enjoy poetry most when it is conceptual, when it makes you think, when it plays with form or with text or something like that. I have found a poet recently that has been giving me super emotional visceral reactions in the same way that I get when I read fiction, but I'm not going to talk about that poet here because I am going to share a poem by that poet in January, in the next year, in the next edition of Poetry Thursday. But I just wanted to make that I guess that reflection because it's interesting to me. The poetry that I like, sometimes people say that doesn't seem like poetry or doesn't sound like poetry because there's no meter or rhythm or that type of thing. Because for me, the poetry that I like is more conceptual than lyrical, if that makes sense. This is an example of this kind of like heavily conceptual poems that I just thought was absolutely genius. In another video, I don't remember which one, I also mentioned how important context is for poetry, and I guess it's more important when it's this type of conceptual intellectual pieces more than emotional, right? When you read them, you have to be aware of the context or the intention behind them in order to get them. And that is the case with this poem. So I am going to read to you the author's note in the end of the book about this poem. As I said, the poem is called You Are 2.3 Meters from Your Destination, and in the end the author explains this poem is a retelling of the Orpheus and Eurydice story. I love the Orpheus and Eurydice, you know who I mean. I love their story. So it is a retelling of their story, but via GPS directions. You see what I mean with this concept? How did she come up with it? Okay, it's a retelling of Orpheus and Eurydice, but using GPS directions. And then it says, all distances but the descent into Hades were calculated using historical references, consultation with classicists, and Google Maps. While historical measurements would have been in stills, GPS directions are not. So that's the explanation for the poem, and then I am going to read the poem itself. I forgot to say, it comes from the collection Clock, Star, Rose, Spine by Fran Wilde. You are 2.3 meters from your destination. Commencing route for Orpheus of Thrace. Proceed from Zirconian coast meadow south-southwest to mouth of Eurotas River in Laconia. Approximately 800 kilometers. Travel time to waypoint. 7 days at your current speed. Head 92 kilometers south to Cape Tanarus, also known as Matapan. Find Tanarus Gate. Recalculating. Find Tanarus Gate. Proceed to route. Pass into Tanarus Gate and proceed to River Styx. A toll is required. Exact change is required. Proceed to route. Descend 5,000 kilometers to throne room. Time to destination unknown. Arriving at throne room. Proceed 5.2 meters to throne. Avoid abyss. Make your request. Receiving new information from satellites. Calculating return trip. Exit throne room. Follow northern path to Vale of Avernus Cicero, Italy. Approximately 6,000 kilometers. Proceed up incline. No turns are permitted on this route. Proceed up incline. You are 500 meters from your destination. No turns are permitted on this route. You are 100 meters from your destination. You are 2.3 meters from your destination. Proceed up. ... Recalculating. Recalculating. Proceed to route. Proceed to ... No crossing of the river Styx is possible at this time. Orpheus turned around. Proceed to route. Recalculating. Proceed ahead from river Styx, approximately 5,000 kilometers, to the mouth of Acheron River. Calculating new destination. Proceed 600 kilometers northeast through forest to roll-up mountains. Time to destination. 5 days to 3 years. Several drinking establishments ahead on left. New route selected. So that was the poem You Are 2.3 Meters from Your Destination by Fran Wilde from her collection Clock, Star, Rose, Spine, which came out this year, and you can order from Lanternfish Press or wherever you buy your books from. I hope you enjoyed the poem. If, as I said, if you enjoy these more intellectual, conceptual poems like I do, in January I will share to you this first poet that has gotten emotional reactions from me in the same way that fiction does. Yeah, that will be next year. So I will see you soon with another video. I have tons of tags to film for the end of the year, but that will be it for today, and in the meantime, happy reading.